manufacturers here in this district, we're parts suppliers to Columbia. Parts suppliers to Caterpillar. If Caterpillar is able to sell more, that means our manufacturers here can produce more, meaning they can add jobs more. The president has said, there's information out there at the White House, that up to 250,000 jobs will be created in the United States as a result of these free trade deals. So again, you want to make sure that there's enforcement mechanisms in place of rules-based trading that provides for fair and free trade, and that's what we're working on.
Thank you. Regarding MAP 21, where do you stand on a large-scale infrastructure reinvestment? Also, MAP 21 is currently underfunded. Will you vote to fully fund transportation?
I'm going to confess ignorance on MAP 21, but as far as infrastructure, that is a priority from my perspective of federal spending. You look at what are the responsibilities of the federal government. Keep the country safe, defense. And as long as we're doing defense, we've got to make sure we're taking care of our vets. That has to be the first priority. We live in a dangerous world. Any headline over the last month will show that. We had this disaster impending in January, this Wexford. The Defense Department is going to take a disproportionate hit. Defense spending is about a quarter of the defense of the federal budget, but half of the cuts are coming out of the defense budget. It doesn't make sense when you have men and women in here that you're going to allow that to happen. The House tried to reprioritize those sequester savings a few months back. My opponent voted against that. So these defense cuts are real, they're coming. But number one priority with federal spending has got to be your defense. Number two, we've got to keep the commitments we've made to our seniors. Social Security, Medicare. Then it comes infrastructure. Those are the means of interstate commerce. We have to make sure that we're maintaining our roads, bridges, locks, dams, our rivers. Our rivers were the first interstate highway system. We ship a lot of goods on those rivers, to and fro. Those are streams of commerce, literally. So we got to make sure that we are adequately funding our infrastructure projects.
Okay. Again, regarding infrastructure, how do you understand the lack of mass transit to northern Pittsburgh suburbs to affect job growth and subsequent economic development?
I think originally it's been a function of geography, frankly. It's 279. They literally moved mountains to get it done. My kids often complain about the roads trying to crisscross through the North Hills. I think one of the reasons Pittsburgh still has a pretty vibrant downtown is because every road leads downtown. But given the hills, the valleys, it's been very difficult to have any kind of major, other than bus service, and that is critical. We've got to get people to work. So yeah, we've got to be making sure that again, those are priorities.
It's pretty interesting in terms of your district and the travels that you will be experiencing. You're probably going to have reason to travel from Beaver County into northern Allegheny County via Cranberry, and you're going to see some of the navigation and some of the challenges regarding not only sustaining what we have here, but with new capacity. And it's a frustration, and it's been something the Chamber has attempted to be as active as possible in terms of all the economic growth that is going on here. If we don't have the appropriate transportation system in place, it makes it almost an impossible dream to have things develop smoothly.
Well, again, we're looking at a tough geography in our region, with respect to the hills. It makes it much more expensive to build a road. It took years to get to 279. That's one of the big struggles we have here with the PA.
Very good. We have about 5 more minutes with the attorney. If anyone has some, okay, we have another question coming up. Oh, yeah. Okay. What committees are you interested in pursuing if elected?
Everybody asks that. Not everybody. A lot of people ask that question. Look, it's interesting. Western PA, you look at the assault coming from the big federal government over the last few years. And they really targeted a few things: healthcare, financial services, energy, education, undue impact with all this regulation on manufacturing. I challenge you to name one city, one region in this country who has a higher concentration at the level we have of those sectors of our economy. And so you look at the range of committee assignments. You know, there are any number of committees that I'd be, privileged to serve on. I don't think I would, be interested in any assignments that they offer. Clearly, when you look at the region, any of the items I just mentioned, so we have energy and commerce, for example. Again, we are Representative Murphy is on there, so I don't know how they parse out regions. Armed services, Congressman concerns on armed services. We have one of the highest concentrations of veterans in the country right here in Western PA. We have defense conference right here in Western PA. So I'm open to serving. Financial services, again, the concentration of entities we have here, community banks, the banks downtown, federated investors. There are any number of employers in this district who have, portfolios that cover any number of these committees. So I'm open.
Attorney, given the new geography of the new district, how will you be able to best cover your constituents? Will you have multiple offices? Will you be spending time east and west? Do you have a game plan?
Absolutely. If we talk about the district, I actually kind of like the district. I remember giving a talk back in February, and I told people how much I liked the district. And people thought I was joking. And it wasn't until I started to go into my talk a little bit that they stopped chuckling and knew I was serious. If you take a look at the Marcellus Field, it's that big boomerang shape that comes from up New York State down through western Pennsylvania, West Virginia. You look at our district and where it's situated, it's literally bisects that Marcellus. I call it the belt of the belt. That's another reason I've been calling it America's Invention. I'll have an office in Beaver County, an office in the North Hills, an office in Johnstown, because you need to be there. You are the employee of even those people who don't vote for you. You are the employee of 705,000 people in this district. It's your job to be representing the district in Washington. It's your job if there's an individual who has an issue with what the federal government is doing, you need to be responsible for that. We can debate the policy stuff, and that's fun, but the rubber hits the road with constituent services. It's the woman who may have an issue with Social Security Administration. It's the veteran who may have an issue with VA. It's a small business who is getting strangled from some regulatory agency. You need to be responsive to those things. It's customer service. And so I look forward to deploying technology to be tracking basically customer service requests. Because when you're the employee and the constituents are coming in, you have to look at it as a customer service model. And that's, you make the hiring decision, and if you don't like what the person's doing, you make the firing decision. So that's, again, we are the employees of the American people.
Regarding the political structure today of our country, it seems like the Democratic Party is on one side of the field and the Republican Party is on the other side of the field. And in terms of accomplishing the business at hand, it becomes very difficult because each party wants to hold their ground. Do you have any special strategy in terms of being able to cross the line into the other parties within government to try to engage in a more cooperative working environment?
Yeah, you look at your private sector experience, and you understand that when you negotiate a contract, you're not going to get 100% of everything you want. The goal is to get the deal done so that both parties can walk out, shake hands, maybe you're 80% happy with it, your other side is going to be 80% happy with it, and then you're going to get to work and get the job done. Unfortunately, you have these people, and the president falls into this camp. Nancy Pelosi falls into this camp. I can't understand wanting to have Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House, frankly. And she's the one who said we have to pass the bill to find out what's in it. Complete abdication of responsibility. In the last year she was Speaker of the House. She failed to put a budget through. These really, they take these hardline positions. The president, his way or the highway. Nancy Pelosi, her way or the highway. And that's not constructive. And then Harry Reid, we've been waiting over 2 years. I think it was 2009 was the last time the Senate did a budget. This is irresponsible. He's been a roadblock to a lot. The things that we need to get this economy rolling again, they blocked it. The president, God bless him, he never pivoted to jobs. He only pivoted to growing government. And so he spent the first 2 years crusading for his health care bill, rather than focusing on jobs and growing government and making sure that the regulatory agencies, were keeping a lid on things, rather than empowering the private sector and letting that flourish. His worldview is that, no, government can create jobs. No, our worldview is that the government has to set the conditions for job creators to do, those who are building their businesses to do. And this is why, for example, the National Federation of Independent Businesses saw what I'm talking about. And that's why they endorsed it.
Very good. Another question is in regard to food safety. Food safety is a major concern for many families. In the past few years, more and more genetically engineered foods have been introduced. Would you support clear labeling of genetically engineered food so that consumers have the right to choose if they wish to purchase them or not?
Yeah, I support that. I support country of origin labeling. Because I like to know when I go to the supermarket what I'm getting.
Very good. Okay, one last question, and that would be, what are the 3 most important things voters should know about you?
Again, I just when I started, I'm running because I'm concerned about the direction of the country. Government-centered recovery is not working. There was a freedom-centered recovery in the 1980s where we were growing at 4, 5, 6, 7% some quarters. You need to grow. You need to grow so that we can add jobs, and that's what raises revenue. When we have chronically high unemployment, at or above 8%. In fact, if you look at all the people who gave up work, gave up looking for work, 211,000 people gave up looking for work last month. That's more than the number of people living in Beaver County. The month before, 368,000 people gave up looking for work. That's more people than live in the city of Pittsburgh. We need those people back to work because guess what? When they're working, they're paying Social Security taxes, they're paying Medicare taxes. We're able to fund the critical social service programs we need. When you're growing at 1.2%, you can't do that. You've got to be growing at 4, 5, 6%. You do that by unleashing the private sector. So I'm running because I'm concerned about the country. I'm running because I'm concerned about my family. My daughter Alice, who's 5 years old, she may have to pay for something. She's going to have to pay for a lot of this. I'm worried about my mom Alice, whom I named Alice after. My mom Alice on Medicare. And the $700 billion cut coming out of Medicare and putting in place the Independent Payment Advisory Board, which is going to make the decisions about what doctors get paid and what gets covered. That's not healthcare reform. I'm worried about where this country's heading. A government-centered society or a society centered in the private sector, the freedom-centered society. Government has its role. Defend the country, keep the commitments we made to our seniors, make sure we're doing infrastructure. But when you're borrowing 42 cents of every dollar, you can't do everything. We need leaders who can say and understand and tell the truth to the American people that you can't do everything. This trajectory is very dangerous. And finally, my private sector experience, where the job is to get the deal done, to reach across the table, get the deal done that you can both live with and get to work. I'd ask for your vote to remember, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.